scared. I was really scared. And all of a sudden, he put me back in this cage, and I hear him walk out the door and slam it. And I'm just there by myself in this funky place. All by myself at 10 weeks old. And I don't know how much time it was, but it seemed like a long time. It seemed like, I don't know, hours, you know. And the door opens up, and I'm whining and crying because I'm hungry. I'm really hungry. I'm really missing that warm place with my siblings and the beautiful nipple that I had. And he grabbed me, put me under his arm, took me out to the truck, and drove off. And here we are. I don't know what's happening. So it took about, I'd say, well, now I think I could say about an hour or something like that. About an hour. I'm in that thing. And I'm whining the whole time. So finally, he stops. I hear he stops. He pull up. He stops someplace. I don't know where I am or what I'm doing. And I hear the door open on his side, and then he come around, open the door on my side. He opened up the cage, put this rope around my neck. Now remember, I'm only 10 weeks old. Imagine yourself at 10 weeks old. Put a rope around my neck, grabbed me, put me out underneath his lamppost, and tied me up to it, and took off. And I'm sitting there by myself underneath this lamppost, and there's people on the street, and they're coming up, oh, look at this little guy, you know, and they touching me and stuff. I'm scared to death. I don't know what's going on. But no one stopped. Nobody really gave me any attention. I'm just sitting there whimpering, and they got more and more people. Got really crowded. A lot of noise and crazy stuff going on the street. Turns out it was a corner in a Bourbon Street and Canal. That is where a place was that I was going to learn to love. A place that I was going to grow up in. So I fell asleep after hours, and I woke up in the morning. The sun was just coming up, still tied to the lamppost. And all of a sudden, I see this big bull mastiff come walking around the corner, right up to me. Say, hey, little fella, what's going on with you? And I don't know. He's talking to me, but I don't know anything. I'm only 10 weeks old. So he says, hey, little fella, what's up? I see you tied up here. Where's your owner? Well, he told me, anybody that tie a young guy like you up, I ain't waiting for him to come back. I'm gonna untie you, rescue you, and you follow me. So he untied me, and he was down going over to pick up a paper for Jumpin' Jack. Jumpin' Jack was the owner of this big place right on the corner of Bourbon Street and Canal. And turns out it was a blues club. I'll tell you about that later, but it was really something. Anyway, so Jack come around, he untied me, and he said, he's walking. He said, follow me. I didn't understand follow me, but I sort of got it after a while. I follow him, and I'm right behind him. And this big old bull mastiff, he fart right in my face. And that freaked me out. What the heck is that? I never had that. My siblings never did anything like that. That's a first experience. Imagine yourself, a first experience. That's what you experience, someone as big as Jack. Anyway, he turned around, looked, he started laughing. He says, oh, you're going to get used to that. And then I didn't know what he was saying, but I could tell it was friendly. So I started saying, oh, it don't smell that bad, really. I think maybe I'm going to like this. So anyway, I follow him. And he'd take me around the back of this club, this blues club called Jumpin' Jack's Blues Club. Or blues joint, I guess, something like that. And so we go around the back, and there's food, fresh food put out. And it turns out there's a bunch of Cajun food. And Jack said, you could have some of this, little boy. You didn't have anything to eat. I was hungry. At this point, I was really hungry. So I ate, and he ate, and he started talking to me, and I met Jumpin', who was the owner of the club, and he was Jack's people. He was the guy that taught Jack how to speak people. You know, speaking peoples is not easy for a dog because we don't got the lips. But after a while, I started getting it, and so Jack became my savior. But more than that, my best friend, my very best friend. And that's how I got started. That was the beginning of me. And I got started learning peoples, and Jack helped me, and Jumpin' helped me. And so what happened is that the dog pack would start coming around, different dogs. At first it was just Jack and me, but then, you know, the next dog that showed up was a boho, right? Boho was a dog. I learned later that he was a gypsy dog, a gypsy street dog, which means he's smart. He knew how to pickpocket people. He could take your watch off your hand, you don't even know it. And so anyway, boho. I like boho. You like boho?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I like boho.
So anyway, that's the story of how I got started. That's the backstory. And so hopefully this will get you to appreciate how far a dog can go from starting from nothing to being leader of the dog pack.